This is a map of San Diego. It is the 8th largest city in the United States, but it does not look or feel like it. Instead of a single sprawling metropolis, you see a collection of disconnected urban pockets, separated by deep green canyons, and defined by an ocean on one side and an international border on the other. This is not the America of endless suburbs and concrete grids. This is a city that was forced to be different. While other Sunbelt cities like Phoenix and Houston were exploding outwards, swallowing up thousands of square miles of land, San Diego hit a wall. It ran out of room. This geographic constraint forced the city to abandon the standard American playbook and create something entirely new. So, how did a major American city end up feeling like a collection of coastal villages? And what choices, born from necessity, made San Diego the opposite of every other city in the country? To answer that, we have to understand the four walls that trapped San Diego and forced it to grow inward, not outward. San Diego is surrounded by four absolute, unmovable boundaries. To the west, the Pacific Ocean creates a hard stop. To the east, the rugged peninsula mountain ranges block any significant expansion. To the south, the international border with Mexico forms a geopolitical wall. To the north, Marine Corps Base Camp Pendleton, a massive federally protected military installation, occupies a huge stretch of coastline and acts as an impenetrable barrier. These four boundaries created what planners call the island effect, turning San Diego into a fixed geographic container with a hard ceiling on how much it could expand. By the early 2000s, the city was functionally full. Planning documents revealed that less than 10% of developable land remained vacant. While every other major Sunbelt city was still sprawling, San Diego's era of outward growth was over. This fundamental constraint was the catalyst for everything that makes the city unique. It forced San Diego to stop thinking about growth as an outward process, to start turning inward, focusing on redeveloping what already existed, rather than annexing new territory. If you enjoy this kind of deep dive into urban design, consider subscribing to the channel for more videos like this. But running out of land was only the beginning. The real question was, what would physically stop the city from becoming one continuous, dense mass like Los Angeles? The answer lies in the city's most unique and defining feature, its canyons. San Diego is built on, around, and in between nearly 150 deep, rugged canyons and creeks that slice through the urban landscape. These are not just parks, they are wild, natural corridors that create physical gaps that roads, buildings, and infrastructure cannot easily cross. Most cities like Chicago would have flattened this terrain or filled in these natural obstacles to create a continuous, profitable grid. San Diego, however, chose to preserve them. In 1998, a citizen-led movement pushed the city to adopt policies that limited development in the canyons, leading to the permanent protection of thousands of acres of city-owned land as open space. These canyons do more than just provide scenic views, they enforce separation. A neighborhood on one side of a canyon cannot easily merge with the neighborhood on the other. The natural topography defines community boundaries in a way that no zoning law ever could. This natural fragmentation became official city policy in 2002 with the adoption of the City of Villages strategy. The concept rejects the traditional model of a single, massive urban footprint and instead envisions the city as a collection of compact, mixed-use centers linked by transit. Each village is designed to be a self-contained community with its own commercial core, jobs, and housing, all within walking distance. While many cities claim to pursue this model, in San Diego, the canyons make it inevitable. The city is physically organized around natural features that break it up into discrete pieces, each one becoming its own distinct village. Just as important as the canyons is the city's relationship with its coastline. In 1972, at the exact moment when cities like Miami were racing to build massive beachfront towers, San Diego voters approved Proposition D, a revolutionary law that set a strict 30-foot height limit across most of the coastal zone. The law was absolute, with no exceptions for luxury developments. This single decision preserved the coastline in a way that is almost unheard of in a major American city. Instead of a wall of high-rises blocking the ocean, San Diego's coast feels like a collection of small, accessible beach towns. The scale remains human, and the ocean remains a public presence, not a private luxury. This choice to prioritize public access over private profit is another core element of what makes San Diego so different. It deliberately avoided the common urban planning trap of capitalizing on ocean views at the expense of the public realm. But the most unusual boundary of all is the one that cuts through the south of the city. While most American cities border other American cities, San Diego shares its southern edge with a completely different country. The San Diego-Tijuana metropolitan area is the largest cross-border region in the world, with a combined population of over 5 million people. The San Isidro port of entry is the busiest land border crossing in the Western Hemisphere, processing around 90,000 travelers a day. This is not a peripheral relationship, it is the economic and cultural heart of the region. San Diego provides the high-tech industries and corporate headquarters, while Tijuana provides a massive industrial base, particularly in medical device manufacturing. Products are designed in San Diego, manufactured in Tijuana, and sold to the world. Workers live on one side and commute to the other. This deep integration means that San Diego's most important economic partner is not another American city, but a city in Mexico. This binational identity reinforces San Diego's fragmented, outward-looking nature. It is a metropolis that looks across a border rather than inward toward its own endless suburbs. However, there is a deep irony buried in the story of progressive planning. The same geographic limits that forced San Diego to be so unique also created a crisis that the city still has not solved. The city's official slogan, "America's Finest City," was actually born from a moment of failure when a bribery scandal forced the 1972 Republican National Convention to move to Miami. That contradiction runs through San Diego's entire history. The city avoided sprawl, preserved its coastline, and protected its canyons. But those same constraints created extreme scarcity. San Diego is consistently ranked as one of the least affordable housing markets in the United States. The median home price is astronomical, and the supply of available land is virtually zero. The City of Villages strategy is meant to create density, but building in established neighborhoods is slow and expensive. The 30-foot coastal height limit keeps the beaches beautiful, but it also prevents the kind of density that could bring down housing costs. And the binational economy means that many workers are forced to live in Tijuana and endure long border commutes simply because they cannot afford to live in the city where they work. San Diego escaped the mistakes of infinite sprawl, but it did not escape the consequences of finite land. The city is trapped between preserving the very things that make it special and providing enough housing for the people who want to live there. It is the opposite of every U.S. city because it had no other choice. And whether that makes it America's finest city, or just its most beautifully constrained, depends entirely on whether you are admiring the view or trying to pay the rent.